Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Mudblood Cal here, and today we're going to be going over the opening weekend of the NBA playoffs. So you can go ahead, leave like, and subscribe, follow me on Twitter at MudbloodCal. Username is Legarius Sneed Fan Club. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to go through all 8 games of the weekend, and just what an opening weekend it was. This is like, if all the games are like this, which they won't be, this is going to be an absolutely amazing playoffs. But we'll start with the first game, which was Heat Bucks in Milwaukee. Game 1, 107 Heat, 109 Bucks. Chris Middleton called the game. And I know not everyone wants to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Jimmy Butler lost this game for the Heat. He was like 4 of 22 from the field or something. I know says he has 17 points if you look at the box score, but his impact was without a doubt negative. But on the positive side for the Heat, really good game from Duncan Robinson. And Bam Adebayo also, along with Jimmy Butler, didn't have a good game. If Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo have had their worst games of the series, that's good for the Heat because they lost by 2 points in overtime. This was still a very close game. But on the Bucks side, 27 from Middleton, 26 from Giannis. Dante DiVincenzo has 10 rebounds for some reason. In just 18 minutes, PJ Tucker didn't really put up any stats, only 22 rebounds. But he had a lot of missed shots on him. I think opponent field goal percentage up against him was really bad. He was guarding, I assume, Butler. It's a pretty good game from him. If we're looking at like percentages, one team shot 40% from 3 and the other team shot 60%. In the modern NBA, you would expect the team that shot 40% from 3 to win, and I guess you'd be wrong. But really good game from Gorgon Dragic for the Heat too. He's thriving in that 6th man role. But he did play more minutes than Kendrick Nunn. So is he really 6th man? He's not starting technically. But moving on to the second game on Saturday, Mavericks and Clippers. And Mavericks had Luka Doncic, who got triple-double, and the Clippers really just had no answer for them defensively, as Luka just 31 points, absolutely just annihilated them. Unfortunately, Pandemic P was trending once again after like a quarter. Paul George was not good in the first half. He looked pretty decent in the second half, ended up with 23 points in 40 minutes. And Kawhi 26, 10, and 5, or 26, 5, and 10. It just wasn't a good game from the Clippers. They just got outplayed. There's not really a whole lot of analysis you can make here, but they've got to find a way to do something better and have an answer for Luka. And they struggle in this first game. We'll have to see what happens in game 2. But I'm not really feeling too good about my prediction that the Clippers will make the final. Maybe that's a bit of an overreaction. But after one game, not feeling too good about it. When we talk about that one Kawhi dunk over Maxi Kleber, though, that was nasty. Shout out to Tim Hardaway, 21 points. They don't have like a good game besides. Yeah, no one really had too great a game. Batum and Rondo both ended up with 11. I kind of thought Serge Ibaka would be getting more playing time, but nevertheless. We're going to go ahead and move on to the third game of Saturday. The Celtics and the Nets in Brooklyn. This was a really fun game to see, nationally televised. Lots of fans. This was only an 11-point game, and it was probably the most boring game of the weekend, which says a lot. Really no blowouts. This one kind of came down to the wire. It was close going into the third quarter. Nets kind of ran away with it. And 22 from Tatum. He's just got to have more. For the Nets, awesome game from Kevin Durant, 32 points. Jeff Green only had 3. It felt like he had more alive. 27 minutes. 3 points in 27 minutes. You got to do a bit better than that, Jeff Green. Harden with 21. Another rebound, 2 more assists. He would have had a triple-double. But, pretty good Nets game. Struggled early on. Got in the hang of it. Third quarter. Had a really good third quarter. Scored 31 points. Only gave up 20. It's a good game from the Nets. And the final game, actually this was not, the final game, the one with the highest point differential of 14 points, the Portland Trailblazers and the Denver Nuggets. After one game, I'm feeling pretty good about my Trailblazers prediction, although I do think it's not going to be like a sweep or anything still. But 16 rebounds and 34 points from Nikola Jokic just wasn't enough. And I said it going into the series, the Nuggets just don't have the guards. And from their starting guards today, combined 14 points is not good enough. And I'm willing to say that this team has no guard star power or just ability without Jamal Murray. For the Trailblazers, though, pretty good game from Powell, 34 from Dame, obviously pretty good. Yusuf Nurkic with the double-double, and CJ McCollum's 21. Anthony Simons looked good. Carmelo Anthony looked good. Enes Kanter only got in for about 15 minutes, but he also looked good. So pretty good game for the Portland Trailblazers. Now moving on to Sunday's slate of games, we're starting with the Wizards and the 76ers. This was a fun game. Kind of came down to the wire. 76ers, kind of similar to the